It's that time again. Godzilla x Kong has just begun its marketing campaign with the new title dropping teaser trailer, and Toho itself is finally throwing its hat back into the ring with a live-action Godzilla movie coming this year on Godzilla's birthday, November 3rd. Obviously, with so much going on, the hype is going to reach its pitch again, bringing old and new fans back into the fray. With this influx of interest will come a demand for more kaiju content, especially video games. But as great as the idea of becoming a giant monster and causing mayhem in a computer-simulated world is to many kaiju fans, there are not a lot of games that give us that experience. There are many fan-made lists of the top kaiju video games to play, but if you look one up, you will say that more often than not, it will leave you feeling frustrated, as many of those games are 20 years old, and getting harder and harder to find. Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, War of the Monsters, and Peter Jackson's King Kong the video game are all good examples. If they are not too old, they are usually console exclusive, such as the PS4 exclusive Godzilla game from 2014. So what do you do if you want to play a good kaiju game? In this video, I present my top 5 fun and easy to find kaiju games as of 2023. In this video, the video games I will be presenting can either be played on a computer, which most people have by now, or on multiple consoles. Also, this list is in order from least to best. So now that we have gotten that out of the way, let's get started. Number 5. Monster Hunter World. This is a really great, albeit challenging video game, and the only reason it is not higher on this list is because it does not really give you the experience of being a giant monster, like the rest of the games on this list. However, it does sort of give you the experience of what it would be like to be one of those poor soldiers fighting Godzilla in the movies. In Monster Hunter World, your character is a monster hunter in a newly colonized continent teeming with life. As a monster hunter, you must hunt monsters such as ice dragons, rock monsters, and super T-Rexes to earn money and resources to improve your armor. The ultimate goal of the first part of the game is to stop Zora Magdaros, a supermassive volcano monster, from destroying the continent. This game has great combat mechanics, beautiful monster and setting design, and makes you feel like you can take on the world, Monster Hunter World. This game can be played on the computer, especially the Computer Gaming Center Steam, that seems to be putting this game on sale every few months or so, PlayStation 4, or the Xbox One. Number 4. Kaijuogo. This video game is a fun 2D city-destroying game that puts you in the position of the mad scientist of your choice. Each mad scientist controls his own unique monster, including a mechanical dinosaur, a Biollante-inspired kaiju, a cyclops, and more, as he tries to take over the world, pressuring countries and cities into giving into his demands by destroying as much property as possible, lowering morale. As the mad scientist, you also get to make improvements to your base, recommended in case the rest of the world decides to attack, and also improve the strength of your kaiju. This game can be found on Steam, a computer gaming center. Number 3. Overdrive 2 Super Mech League. This game does not actually have any kaiju, unless you purchase the Ultraman DLC with Black King in it, but it still gives you the feeling of being a skyscraper-tall mech. This game does not really have any plot, but it is great for casual fights against other robots in a variety of modes, including regular one-on-one combat, team combat, and a game mode where you have to stay within a certain area as other mechs try to kick you out, or else you lose your health. This game does not require much commitment, and is in its own way reminiscent of Pacific Rim. This video game can be found on the Xbox One and the Nintendo Switch. Number 2. Dawn of the Monsters. This game is honestly a blast to play and one of the best kaiju games I've ever played. In Dawn of the Monsters, you can play as one of 4 characters, 2 kaiju, 1 mech, and 1 Ultraman-inspired giant superhero. But if you pick one, you are not locked in for the entire game, and can pick a different character each level. This game is story-based and contains interesting bits of lore for those, like me, who like that sort of thing in a kaiju movie or game. This game is a unique and well-done mixture of 2D and 3D, giving you that nice 2D aesthetic while giving you most of the mobility of a 3D game. In this game, you fight hordes of kaiju and evil mechs to save the world from an alien and human threat. The gameplay is really fun and not that hard to get used to. The aesthetic is gorgeous, the characters are fun to play as and all have their own unique abilities, and the kaiju designs are unique and very awesome, especially those of the bosses, who themselves are fun to fight against because of their unique abilities. This game can be found on the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the Computer Console Gaming Center, Steam. Number 1. Gigabash. This game is very reminiscent of the classic Godzilla game Destroy All Monsters. This game, unlike Dawn of the Monsters, has very little story, and more one-on-one fights rather than the horde fighting gameplay of Dawn of the Monsters. This game has unique kaiju inspired by classic 50s, 60s, and 70s monsters, all playable, as well as, of course, an Ultraman-inspired superhero named Gigaman, and a Pacific Rim-like mech named Thundertross. This game has lots of fun game modes, as well as a story mode for almost every kaiju or mech, except the strictly villainous ones and Gigaman, who is still heavily featured, though unplayable, in the story mode for Thundertross. The combat system of this game is excellent, with each kaiju having its strengths, weaknesses, and special abilities. Even better, if you get the Godzilla DLC, you can play as either Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, Gigant, or Destroyer, all beautifully rendered and all possessing a great and true-to-film skill set of abilities. While I believe this game is exclusively on the PlayStation 5 as far as consoles go, it can also be found on the Computer Console Gaming Center Steam. I hope you found this video informational and entertaining. If you found your newest kaiju game on this list, then congratulations. If you did not, just keep looking for one until you find one that suits you. If you did like this video, then please show your appreciation with that like button, leave a comment to let me know your input, and subscribe to JPzilla for more videos about kaiju, especially Godzilla, Kong, and Ultraman content.